Good morning, Lionhearts. It's Daze with Jordan the Lion. Well, today's the day I told you guys a few days ago that I have to work all day. And when I mean all day, I mean all day. I have to hop in the shower now. I just finished up the coffee. Check that off the list. And I have to go drop Jaw over at his friend's house. He's going to hang out there all day because I have to be at the place that I'm hopping on the van at 9:45 a.m. We're driving all the way out to the Yucca Valley, which I think is like 2 or 3 hours, working from 1 till 11 p.m. and then driving back. So that's pretty much my day. And they even said, be prepared for no cell service 10 miles out. So I probably won't even be able to upload the vlog on time. But I went ahead a few days ago and I went and filmed something else for you. I knew this was probably going to happen, and I figured there is a very good chance there won't be anything out there to vlog. Sometimes I go out to these places and there's a lot to vlog, and sometimes there's nothing to vlog. So where I took you today was the Hotel Cecil, downtown LA. This place is a freaking horror mansion. Many people have died there, many people have been killed there, many people have killed themselves there, and it's just a creepy, spooky place. The TV show American Horror Story apparently was based off of this place, and there's some pretty unexplained recent happenings. I don't know. Let you decide. I'm going to at least introduce you to it, show you it, and I bet you after this, you'll probably find yourself surfing YouTube watching documentaries on this place, and you creepy people, you'll be out there booking a hotel room here. Me personally, I don't want to stay there. I've watched enough online to know that apparently the people that run the place don't want it on camera, and they treat the guests that try and put it on camera very badly. So I'm not going to support them. But check out the Cecil Hotel. I'm going to go ahead and get ready, show you what we can. I'll plop in the vlog, and then if there's anything to see while I'm out in the Yucca Valley, I'll add that too. Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. Since I have to work all day today, you feel like going over to Pollyanna's house and hanging out? You do? So what you're telling me is that you'd like to go over to Pollyanna's house today and play. You got a deal, buddy. You got a deal. Goodbye, Hollywood Bowl. We are off to, well, the desert, basically. Just cruising through Burbank. Right up here on the corner is where Jay Leno's NBC Studios and that show and everything was taped. Right up here. That looks like it's TBS. Conan's there now. So I'm pretty much here to catch the van. And somebody had asked me, and I realized I probably should have mentioned it. Somebody asked me what happened to the girl that was supposed to be on my vlog with me a week ago that I had met the week before that I was all excited about. Well, the night before, she texted me and she was just like, hey, I've been taking classes a lot lately, and tomorrow's my day off, and I have a ton of stuff I need to do. Can we reschedule for next week? And I was like, sure. I said, just text me whenever is good for you. I don't want to, bother you with text or whatever. And she's like, okay, I'll text you next week. And I just haven't heard from her. And I'm just one of those people, I'm like, I pretty much made it known that I want to hang out with you. I want to go out with you, do stuff. So, I don't have the chase in me anymore, I don't think. Like, if, I saw on her social media she was filming stuff this week out of town, so. But, when I hear from her, I'll hear from her, and if I don't, I won't. That's just how I work. It's cool. All right, I'm just heading into the famous Porto's to get some coffee before we go. Probably the busiest bakery in all of Los Angeles every day. Wow, that's awesome. Finally made it out here. What a beautiful landscape. I love coming out to Joshua Tree. That's pretty much where we are. We're right outside of Joshua Tree. Check out this thing that I found at the venue we're at. Isn't that thing awesome? Burn coals in there. Wow, so cool. I love stuff like that. Alright gang, well we made it out here, so I am gonna go work and you guys are going to the Hotel Cecil. Enjoy. The Hotel Cecil. Now it's called the Stay on Main, and they've done that to try and revamp the image of this well-known hotel. And this place is commonly known as the Hotel of Death. And the reason that is because since 1927, when this place was constructed for $1 million, only took about 10 years for that place to fall into like a transient hotel. And all of a sudden in 1954, it started getting known for people killing themselves here. 1954, well, a woman named Helen Gurney jumped from the 7th floor of the hotel and landed right there on that marquee, what used to be the Hotel Cecil marquee. And now they are so against people knowing the history of this place, they won't even let you go inside or film anything inside. In fact, I've seen online where people that stayed here were asked to leave. And so yeah, so then about, I think 1962, a woman on the 8th floor jumped out and killed herself in the same fashion. Landed right on top of the marquee. And then, God, later that same year, a woman who was living here, who had an estranged husband, the husband came to talk to her, they had a big blow-up fight. He took off to go get something to eat, came back, and she had jumped out the window as well. So we had 3 suicides. But then all of a sudden it started turning to murder. There was a woman that lived here named Goldie the bird woman, her pigeon Goldie, and she used to go to Pershing Square Park and feed the pigeons every day. And one night she was beaten, strangled, raped, and murdered and mugged in her room. And they said they found a bag of birdseed next to her body. But it really kind of came into prominence in the 70s. A guy who was a convicted serial killer named Jack Erdiger, an Australian guy I believe he was. He had been convicted of murder, serial killings, been sentenced to death, went to prison, did kind of a Tookie Williams thing where he wrote some poetry, got a lot of people to think that he was rehabilitated, and then they got him released. And you know what's weird about that is that once he got released, he was actually hired to be a journalist. And they selected him to kind of investigate or write about things that seemed to have more of a story than meets the eye because of his story. And that just basically gave him an opportunity to travel all over the place and kill people, kill women, primarily prostitutes. I think the first one he killed, or even his calling card, was that he would strangle them with their bra. And eventually they found out he had killed a few people here, but the one that everybody seems to know the most is Richard Ramirez. For a month and a half, Richard Ramirez lived here and stayed in room 1419 up on the 14th floor for $14 a day and went on a mass killing spree during that time. So now they've got this thing where everybody believes it's haunted. And though nothing really had happened for years and you'd almost think that whatever curse was on it had gone, sure enough, came back to roost in 2013, where a Canadian traveler named Elisa Lamb was staying here and all of a sudden showed up missing after a day or so. Hadn't checked in with her family, and just a weird series of coincidences or weird happenings. And they actually have video of her in an elevator acting kind of peculiar. And you can find that online if you look up Hotel Cecil, Elisa Lamb. But basically the doors wouldn't close and she kept going in and out of them, and it looked like she was talking to somebody in the hallway, but you couldn't really tell. And she went missing, and nobody really knew anything the wiser until all of a sudden guests started complaining that when they were brushing their teeth, the water tasted funny and they were having low water pressure. And they went up and investigated the water pumps on the roof of this building and found her body crammed into one of those pumps, or one of those tanks. Now, you know what's weird is that I've seen, like I said, people have been threatened to be kicked out of here if they were filming and whatnot. I saw somebody who covertly walked around the building and was filming some stuff, and actually got to the only stairwell that leads to the roof, and they had a massive alarm on there and a lock and key and everything. And you would think, I know that they would probably do something like that after, but a place that's been known for having so many suicides and so many murders, I would think that they would have had something like that even then. Especially this day and age, cameras and everything up there to make sure nobody does jump off the roof or do anything crazy or push somebody off the roof. So there's been speculation, and I tend to believe it, that it had to have possibly been an inside job. Somebody that worked here that had access to it. I don't know. I do know that they're making a movie about this, or that they have already finished a movie that's going to be coming out, starring Sharon Stone and Michael Pena, and it's about the investigation of that murder. But yeah, what a sordid history this place has. Now, everybody that makes a video about this on YouTube I've seen basically wants to say it's haunted, and there's a part of me that believes that's possible, but then there's another part of me that believes more than likely it's they want to be part of the story. They kind of want to be to say that they had a haunted experience here. Who knows? I don't know. I would not want to stay here. The main reason I wouldn't stay here is just because it sounds like everybody that works here is pretty unfriendly if they're walking around with walkie-talkies and snitching on you for taking video. But that's just me. But there you go. I know I'd had a lot of people. I'll try and get a little closer, but like I said, they do not welcome any kind of photography, so I'll get what I can. Though, maybe that'll change, because this was recently, I believe within the last couple of weeks, made a historical landmark by the city of Los Angeles due to its architecture and building structure. So maybe they'll change that. And the story is that they based American Horror Story, one of the seasons of that, off this place. But honestly, I really don't care to go in, not because I'm superstitious or anything, but all the stories that I've heard, it just seems like anything memorable happened outside of these windows. So, and since they're not welcoming any kind of video, I'll just walk by it and that'll be it. Yeah, they definitely had 3 sets of double doors, so I think they would have stopped me from filming before I got in. But there you go. There's the crazy murder and suicide history of the Hotel Cecil. And since I'm right there, this is the rooftop from the U2 Where the Streets Have No Name video. Remember when I did that video? This was the liquor store they were on top of, and everybody was crowded around. You could see that sign in the background. Look at this kite. Or it's a string of kites that they've created. It's like a spine of kites.
Yeah, that's cool. Many kites.
That is insane. You gotta love art. They got it lit up, look at that. From Joshua Tree, California. Good night.